I'm having a blessed morning. Juma Friday, happy Friday to everyone. To everyone, happy Friday, happy Friday. Friday is the most beautiful day out of the week, whether it's snowing, raining, sunny. Friday is just Friday. Friday is it. And you can tell it's Friday because it's within inside of yourself. And then it's time to get paid. Some people get paid Friday, some people get paid the day before. But that's not what I'm talking about. That's not the topic I'm gonna talking about, right? The topic that I'm talking about. This is part one. I had it figured out. I had it figured out. Now I'm gonna talk about two parts of having it figured out. I'm gonna talk about the parts of my ignorant days, and I'm gonna talk about the part of being spiritually inclined, also having it figured out. And when did I gain access, and when did I gain the information that I needed, and the blessings that I needed to understand my the assignment. I'm talking about when I was in my ignorant days, when I was in the days of uneducated, when I was in the days of darkness, when I was in the days of just doing what I wanted to do, thinking that living this gangster persona life was the answer, and this is what I needed to do just to survive, just to doing things for a name, doing things to eat, doing things for clothes. Because at one particular time, I know a lot of people that know me, people was doing things to get fresh. It was sort of money, but people was doing things for outfits and sneakers and money, right? And food, eating. But most part, people was doing things because they didn't have no clothes. They didn't have no sneakers. They didn't have no clothes. They didn't have no outfits. And pretty much is what normally people do because they don't have clothes. They don't have sneakers, like fresh stuff, fresh Nikes, fresh New Balance, fresh Jordans, fresh outfits. And at that time, we was walking Cross Colors. Cross Colors was out. Boss was out. Um, Definitely Levi's. Levi's was out. Windbreaker suits was out. Four-figure range, three-figure range, two-figure range. All this, all this stuff. You know, just trying to figure things out. How you doing? Oh, you subscribe. Sam Jackson subscribe. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. You did the right thing because my channel has the most, I'm gonna say, has really, really dope and amazing content. Go check any video that you choose or want to talk to. They all bangers. All my videos are bangers. They all bangers. And it can help you to get through a lot of things that's in your life. Right? So I'm thinking that this is the life. Right? So I'm moving in stealth mode, meaning I'm moving by myself. At the time, I didn't. I move with one person, but majority of the time, the majority of the things that I did, it was by myself. I had it figured out, cause I knew that if I move with a crew or I move with somebody that I can't trust, I was liable to get locked up. I was liable to go to get locked up for a lot of times. So I knew that I couldn't move with any and everybody. I couldn't move with any and everybody. I had to move with somebody just like me or just by myself. Majority of the times, I will move by myself. when I was doing ignorant things, because I knew that that was the best thing to do. I knew that I'm not going to tell them myself. There's nobody around that's gonna tell, right? So, you know, I'm doing things. I'm in the life. I'm drinking. I'm smoking. I'm doing these things that I feel that doing ignorance, and I'm young, that this is the life to go. This is the life to go. Not knowing that this is the wrong life to go, right? Because I couldn't get enough. Yes, I answer questions. And what happened next? So I'm thinking that this is the life to go. Do you believe? Do you believe African American deserve reparation? No, no. If it's, I'm gonna get off topic now. I believe that we we um we deserve reparation, but it's not money. It's land. Give us the land. Don't give the people money, because what the people's going to do, they're going to take the money, they're going to buy Gucci, they're going to buy all this expensive stuff and give it all back. They're not going to open up businesses. Some people going to open businesses up, some people, but majority of people is going to, they they're gonna buy living room sets, they're gonna hook up their houses, they're gonna buy furniture, right? They're gonna buy outfits, jewelry, cars. All right, they're gonna give it right back. They're not gonna go buy land. They're not gonna buy property. They're gonna go on trips, 100 trips, drinking and smoking and partying. And they're gonna be running it up on Instagram and Facebook. Everybody's gonna be doing it. So no, give the people the land. Don't give them no money. The land, land, land. 40 acres, right? In the mule, that's what they said. Give the people 40 acres. That's majority of this country. That's a majority, yeah. Yeah, the United States, yeah, give the people 40 acres. Give them 40 acres. That's the agreement. They should uphold that agreement. That's what I believe. Get the land from Africa since Africa started slavery. This has it to this day. Americans were the first to end it. So you try to listen. I'm not saying you're trying, but I don't want to get off topic. You get me off topic. Um, you're saying Africa started slavery. Yes, I believe that. Yes, they started selling Africans. But if you go inside if you go inside of my some of my videos, right? My videos, side of my videos, right? I break down the American people, right? I'm gonna say this right here. Do you believe Jesus is black? Yes, I believe Jesus is black. Yes. Look, somebody said name. Let him finish the story. I'm gonna get back to it, name. Let me just answer some questions. Americans over here, the indigenous people of America, right? We was not slaves. We was already here in this land. We was already here in this land. We did not come from Africa. We not African. We was already here in America. There's proof to that. We already was here, right? We are the descendants of the ancient ancestors. I'm talking about ancient before BC. This is before BC. We was here before BC in America, before it was even called America. We had pyramids here. There's artifacts here that was built. Why you think they stopped building in America? Because they kept finding pyramids. One of the major pyramids that exists, that they built upon, is in Central Park. That was a huge pyramid right there. People gather up there, they worship, they study, right? And you got to understand that everybody came over here to learn from us because we are the descendants, us. We, the people in America, are the descendants from the ancient ancestors. Yes, there's all civilizations. Just because we look the same, we're not the same. The same thing with Chinese. Do they look the same like Japanese, Philippine, Vietnamese? They look the same, but they're not the same. They're not the same. They look the same, but they're not the same. The same thing with us. We look the same, but we're not the same. We're not the same. We're not the same. All inventions, right? That was came from over here, right? They all came from the descendants of the ancient ancestors over here in America. Why do you think everybody want to come over here in America? Everybody want to come over here in America because America is a blessed land. This land is blessed. Even the Creator says, he said in the Holy Scriptures, it is not righteous that you turn your face to the east, to the west, but it's righteous that you believe in one Creator. Right? He says this in Scriptures. So, in reality, these places are holy. These places are the foundations of technology, of education, of science, on any other major subjects that help civilizations all out around the world. Right? Look at this. See this? See this? I recommend that you go get these books. That book. The thing that I'm saying, name said California before Egypt. Yes. We was before Egypt. America, yes. It wasn't even called America. The planes was different. Everything was different. What happened was, what this we are the descendants. American people. American people, yes. American people. We are the indigenous people of America. Indigenous people of America also enslaved each other after winning tribal wars. We never enslaved anybody. We always taught. We always taught. Let me tell you something. We can the East and West can go back and forth. We can go back and forth. I'm talking about the indigenous people over here in the West. The West. The West. I'm talking about in America. Remember, America is the nucleus. America is the focus of everybody, of everything. Everybody wants to come to America, right? Before with America, it was the center of education. It was the center of science. It was the center of medication, right? It was the center of everything that you want to learn over here. Of course, we had our neighbors in Africa, yes. Those are our brothers and sisters. But they also too came over here to learn from us because we are the descendants of the ancient ancestors. I'm talking about the American blacks. I don't like to use the word black because it, to identify us, we are called the uply God right ones. That's who we are. This is our title, right? And we didn't talk. The way we talking now, we didn't talk. We telepathically talk to each other. Telekinesis was our tool that we use to lift things up. This is an actual true facts. Because back then it was forbidden to talk. It was forbidden to talk. The ancient ancestors never talk. They never talk. They telepathically talk to one another. They talk. That's how they talk to one another. Didn't you see the movie? You seen some of the movie of Godzilla? How those ancient people talk to each other through sign language and do with the mind? We started that. We started that. The indigenous people of America did that. Our ancient ancestors, yes. We used to freely go in and out the heavens. The ancient ancestors. We are the descendants. We was backdoored by every civilization, by Africa. See, what happened was our bloodline was rich, right? With spirituality. We were so in tune, right? That the creator himself, the ancient ancestors, they were so in tune with him, he took them up. Because they were so powerful. They were too powerful to be upon the earth. He took them up. Not just Jesus. Remember, Jesus is a descendant too. Remember, Jesus was took up past the heavens. It's up there right now. Moses talked to the creator. Moses. He talked to him directly. That is some of our bloodline, some of our descendants. Do you understand? Powerful, rich. This is actual facts. This got off the topic. This got off the topic. But these things are really, really important to understand on who we are. We are not game bangers, right? We are not drug sellers. We are not gangsters. We are not none of that. Right? These was titles that was put upon us to destroy us and to debase us, to eradicate us. We are uply God right ones. We teach all civilizations. We bring forth all the technology to lead us to year after year, future after future. That's who we are. We civilize all civilizations, right? We was created to keep balance upon the earth and the whole entire universe, to keep balance and justice, right? To teach and to civilize the uncivilized, because people are uncivilized. All civilizations are uncivilized based on spirituality. It's a leading force of physical, but the physical, it doesn't last. It perish after time. After time, it keeps perishing. It keeps perishing. And then we got to keep procreating to keep up. You understand? So that was our job, is to civilize all civilizations, to figure out, to keep the connection with the creator open. But what happened was some of us backdoored. They backdoored, and there was a lot going on. And this is why the flood happened. During Noah time, the flood happened. It's true. This is why the flood happened. And when the flood happened, right? When the flood happened, all of our pyramids that we built, all the structures was buried upon. It was a new beginning. It was a new beginning, new creation. So it buried upon, because after the water subsided, it buried on top of the pyramids. There's pyramids all throughout America from the ancient ancestors. Remember, back then, it was no scriptures, it wasn't no religion back then. It was no religion. It was belief and non-belief. Belief was the leading force. Belief in one creator, the Almighty, the Alpha Omega. It was one belief. And then this entity, the entity came in and made us start differing and telling other people, right, to do this and do that, and other people listen. That's what happened. That's why the Creator talks about that in scriptures. This is way before BC, way before Christ time. Way before Christ, BC, AD. No, BC. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I notice you're pending. Yes, I'm Muslim. Yes, I'm Muslim. So, to get off that subject, I just want to answer the brother question, was that I figured it out. I figured it out. So I said, yo, I'm not gonna be rolling with no crews. I'm gonna roll by myself, because if anything happened, I'm not gonna tell them myself. So I started doing whatever, and they couldn't catch me. This is actual true facts. They couldn't catch me. They couldn't catch me. They couldn't catch me when I was, accused of doing these acts because they didn't have no evidence, so they had to let me go. Right? So only when I started getting down with Cruz, that's when everything went left. Gay says, awesome. I actually read the Quran this Ramadan so that I can understand Muslim faith. I I'm actually a ventured pagan looking for knowledge and wisdom. Okay. I'm sorry I got off topic because I have people um that's in my comments. I got followers, subscribers in here asking questions. Okay. I'm a, I'm a, I'm gonna break down religion. Let's break down religion. And bear with me. I'm sorry that I got off topic. This is part one. I'm gonna do part two. Let's break down religion and where religion came from, and why the scriptures come down here. Why the holy scriptures, the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, um, the songs of David, and all of these righteous books came down. From the beginning of time, right? We talk about from the beginning of creation of man. There was no religion. It was belief and non-belief. Back then, nobody talked like we talking now. It was forbidden to talk. In some degree, it's forbidden to talk, but we talk. We want to run our mouth. That's why we get in trouble a lot, because we run our mouth. We got these lips, we got a voice, and we want to run our mouth. Back then, the ancient ancestors didn't speak. They talked telepathically, talked to one another, and they used telekinesis. If you go throughout the earth, you can see pyramids, right, in all of civilizations. Right? We in all civilizations had pyramids. Right? Fast forward. We started fighting later on. Non-belief and belief. Non-belief, belief. And this is before there was always messengers. There was always messengers coming to every civilizations. We always have messengers, right? That telepathically, that the creator talked to them. These doors was open back then. This bloodline was open. This was the agreement that he had with the ancient ancestors that came from the very descendants of Adam. Peace is blessed be upon him. Right? During Adam time, right? During Adam time and after his time, those people disbelief and non-belief. That's all it was. It wasn't no scriptures then. It wasn't no scriptures. It wasn't no holy scriptures come down. No. He openly talked to people telepathically, talking to people, telling people what to do. This bloodline. Right? So as time go by, mankind start to forget and lose, right? And how we start building pyramids and how we start building things. And back then we used to talk to the animals. We were so in tune to talk to the animals. We talked to the trees. We talked to the birds. We talked to the bees. We talked to the ants, the termites. We talked to all of living things. That's how in tune we was back then. Our bloodlines, yes. Because we was created for that. To keep balance and justice upon the earth. Yes. So when we came here, we didn't know how to build no house. The ants showed us how to build pyramids. The termites showed us how to build what? Pyramids. The termites. We got in contact and start talking to these insects. And they talk back to us. Telepathically, we talk to them. Telepathically. Yes. We talk to them. We used to communicate with them. We knew their language. They knew ours. Telepathically, we talked to the birds and bees and trees and plants and animals. Yes, this is facts. Our bloodline, yes, was rich, right? And this was no non-belief at the time. As time went on and as ages went on, we started to lose our way. And when we start to lose our way, that's when disbelief and other things came about. But it came about because this entity was here before us. This devil, demon, evil, demonic, twisted entity mindset was already here. They was already here before us. They already occupied this earth. And they are not human, right? You can't see them. I know some of y'all probably seen them from the corner of your eye. They call them spirits. They not spirits. They not spirits. They're not spirits. They are formed from smokeless material and live. They have a free will to believe or non-believe these things. And back then, they didn't have no buildings and nothing like that. So these things used to run freely and just do whatever they want. Whatever they want to do. Right? So they knew what was going on the earth way before we was in creation. They was already here. Some was very intelligent. This is true. This is true. Some of the ways that, majority of the ways that mankind has towards evil, towards being disobedient, came from them. It came from them. It didn't come from us because we did not know. We was taught by these ops. They ops. They ops of us. They hate us. They hate us. They are I'm going to say, they are in a physical form, right? They coexist with us on earth. But you can only see them if you're in a spiritual form. In the spiritual form, you can see them. Right? Most of us, we have not even reached that. Some of us still got these powers to connect with these things. And that's another story I'm going to get into. But these entities exist. They don't have breasts. They don't have a penis. They don't have that. They don't have that. They don't have it. No, they don't. We have that. And we are the most intelligent creation that ever was created. That ever was brought into creation besides the creator. So these are the real ops. So their objective was to destroy us. This is actual true facts. This is from a spiritual realm, a spiritual sense. And the scriptures talked about the Quran. I'm not saying so much the Bible and the Torah, but the Quran talks about this. He gives brief understandings of it, but you have to pick it up. You have to pick it up. You have to be really, really in tune with spirituality to understand what he's talking about, or you must have had experience with this. You just can't be talking this. You can't be lying. This is actual true force and truth what I'm talking about. This actually happened during Noah time. During Adam time. A lot of people can't break down what happened during Adam time. They cannot break this down. They don't have the proof. They only speculate. Only those that he loves, in a spiritual sense, he give access to break down and tell stories what actually happened during this time. There was belief and non-belief, period. That's it. That's all it was. And how we learn how to build is by the ants and termites and insects, by studying them and communicating with them. And they learn, and we learning, right, how to build chambers. That's how they built the chambers. That's how they built pyramids, because everything was pyramids. The pyramids was built, it was our home, but it also was sanctuary out of respect for the creator. Back then, it was forbidden to write. The ancient ancestors didn't write. They didn't speak or they didn't write. I told you they talked telepathically to one another. Right? They talked to one another. So, that is some of the history of the descendants of America, right here, we are the leading force. We come from the very descendants of from Adam, America. Yes. You don't see that the leading everything leads to us. It comes to us first. All the descendants, a lot of them has died off. They can't keep procreating inventions. Why do you think everything just keep falling apart? Because the ancient ancestors, right, is gone. The descendants is us. We was backdoored. The agreement that they made with the ancestors back then, that we wasn't going to backdoor each other, that we was going to share knowledge and keep balance and wisdom amongst each other. Awesome. I actually read, okay, I'm from New York, you know, see? So these are the actual things that happen. I wanted to get into this topic, but I, listen, and that's actually what happened. The descendants, which is us, which is in our very bloodline, to start a new procreation of inventions. We are the descendants. We was backdoored. We was never slaves. All right, over here in America, we was never slaves. What happened was when they started to bring the slaves and our bloodline, this ancient bloodline was being destroyed and annihilated. We started blending in with the Africans to save some of our bloodlines. That's what happened. That's what happened. You can see the difference between us and Africans. Those are brothers and sisters, but it's a totally big difference between us and them. This is facts. This is facts. We got different swags, our different moving. The way we think is different. It's different. Yes, they have a strong civilization over there. Timbuktu, Mali, all of these places, yes. But we taught them. We taught them. Everybody came over here in the West. Why do you think the Creator says that? Why do you think he said that? He said, it is not righteous that you turn your face to the east or west. He said that. Because the east and west, this is where the spiritual foundation to lead peoples and masses of civilizations to the new beginning of life and civilization of learning and leveling people up. It's the east and west. We know that. The descendants. I do. I don't know if anybody else do, but I do. I'm of that bloodline. And you of that bloodline too. If you're watching me and you subscribe to me, this is facts. This bloodline is rich with spirituality. It's connected to the actual Creator. There's not many messengers and prophets. There's not many messengers and prophets of this bloodline. So when the descendants was dying off and stuff like that, then they was permitted to write on the pyramids technology, science, and all the other stuff, medicines, herbs. They was permitted, right, to write on the pyramids. But back then they didn't write. It was forbidden to write and speak. Because back then, if you speak, everything in existence would pay attention. You had to be permitted to speak. You just couldn't speak. Remember some of it? And this is the old times. You know how you go to the king? And the king would give a sign and say, okay, now you are permitted to speak. Remember? It was worse than that. You just couldn't speak. You just couldn't speak. As things start to progress, we lost our way. Now we had to bring witnessing. We had to have witnesses. We had to go through a process. And that's how everything happened. Enter said there is no such thing as black Israelites. Even Solomon made it a point to separate his blackness from his Hebrew side. No hate in the message, just facts. All of these titles, let me tell you something. You got to understand this, brother. Because now we get into deep. Way off the topic. All these titles came about after Noah. You understand? After Noah. All these titles, Hebrews, Israelite, Christian, Muslim, all of these titles came after Noah. I'm talking about before Noah. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, brother. All right, brothers and sisters, I need you to pay attention to what I'm saying. This is actual true facts, what I'm saying, from a spiritual sense. From a spiritual sense. You have to have spiritual and go in there and be allowed to have information. A lot of these informations are not in books. They're not in books. These are in spiritual form, spiritual sense. Noah was Alamak. You can't tell me otherwise because Noah's written in history of... You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening. You need to listen to what I'm saying. Okay? You got to pay attention. I said before scriptures, before Christians, before moves, there was no religion. There was non-belief and belief. That's all it was. You said there was no such thing of black Israelites. Or whatever you're saying. Solomon made a point. Listen, all these things came after the flood of Noah. People was living in pyramid mode back then. You just hear what I said? We had pyramids and we learned it. When we came down, first of all, right, our bodies is from the earth, from the very earth. Right? That's why we are in tune with the earth. The earth is us, right? And we are the earth. We one and one. Right? This is facts. Our spirit is from up there. It's not from here. Our spirit is from there. It's from him. This is why whatever you do around the world, whatever you try to do it, you will never be happy. Your spirit is from him. It goes back to him. Okay? It goes back to him. He's the Alpha Omega. We're not even from here. Our physical is from here. But we're not from, technically, if you take this out, we from over there. Okay? That's where we from. That's where we from. And he pick and chooses who he wanted to deliver his message to, right? In his scriptures or whatever to do. That's his thing. He pick and chooses. Now I'm saying, right? I'm saying that before the ark of Noah, before the flood, there was no Christian or Jews or Muslims. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about a time where there was belief and non-belief. We had pyramid. We did worship the creator back then. We taught telepathically towards one another. All right, telekinesis was the thing that we picked up. We picked up these stones. These very stones from the pyramid, right? It's mixed in with other elements that's not from the earth. These stones are here to last forever. The stones. Why do you think over millions of years when they found these pyramids, they still structure, they still stand there? Because these stones are not from the earth. We brought them down here. They was brought here. We brought them here. This is facts. We cut stuff with our minds, brother. This is actual true facts. There's no beef going on. There's no problems and no beef going on. But I'm dropping knowledge from a spiritual realm. You're talking about book knowledge. This is what you're talking about. What was written. I'm talking about what was not written down. And why was things written down? I'm going beyond that. That's what I'm doing. You're talking about from a book knowledge. I'm going beyond the book knowledge. I'm going deeper than the book knowledge. I'm telling you actually what happened. If it's like I was there. Because being in tune with spirituality is beyond human intelligence on what we know it, this physical, what we seen. This world is a replica right? A replica. This world is a replica of the next world. That's why never, everything doesn't last here. It doesn't last. Everything falls down. It needs to be rebuilt. We just band-aiding it. Everything doesn't last here. It perish. And we all gonna perish. This is facts. That's why we supposed to treat this world as what? As just traveling past, passing through. This is only a vessel to the next world. That's all this is. It's a holding pen. It's actually, actually a holding pen between the next world and this world. This is why it's a big campaign for us to make this world last forever. It can't last forever. Nothing can last forever on this world because it's not made to last forever. This materialistic world. No. No. I'm talking about way before Adam. We believe in non-belief. And all the way up to Adam, all the way up to Noah, people was living in pyramids. It was. It was a lot of non-belief going on. There was still few of us. You know how many people got on that ark with Noah? Wasn't that many people. That ark was built from materials right from the very heavens. From up above, came straight from him, sent down. He was building it. And it took him a minute to build it. It took him a minute. He saved some of the bloodlines in Noah. He saved some of the bloodlines. This is why what? Yeah. Don't we not listen, it's new creation. What you see is the new civilization. It's the new civilization. This is facts. This is coming from a spiritual sense. I got way off topic. This is way off topic. Dad. So, I'm sorry about that. I got way off topic. I'm going to do part 2 later on. Today, I'm going to make part 2 of this. Because I got to make part 2. I wasn't sidetracked. I appreciate the love and respect for everybody that came in, subscribed, and liked to me. But Noah, basically, and then the brother, he disappeared. Where are you, brother? You said what you said. You disappeared. We need to engage each other. You dropping knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I'm dropping knowledge and wisdom and understanding. The actual true fact that there you go. It's actual true fact. I'm Sephardic. I'm Sephardic. My bloodline, I could trace my bloodline in black and white. Sephardic. I'm Sephardic Jewish. This is actual true fact. I could trace my bloodline of being Jewish. My family helped contribute in St. Thomas and the Virgin Islands and building a synagogue. Yes, my family, my Santos, they big in St. Thomas. This is actual true facts. So yes, I am Jewish, Sephardic, my bloodline, from Portugal. My great-great-grandfather fled because the Jews over there was getting persecuted. So when they came over here, they had to accept Christianity because they was killing Jews back then. It was a big crusade going on back then. I have the documents. I'm not Israelite. I'm Jewish, yes. So I'm Sephardic. This is actual true fact. I can trace mine back. You can go inside my content. Subscribe to me. Subscribe to me. I can trace my lineage back to the 1700s. We came here on a boat. On a boat. And back then, some people was slaves that got off the boat in St. Thomas, and some wasn't. My family, the Monsantos, that's in St. Thomas, that name Monsanto is big. right, was upscale. We was living upscale. We was upscale. We was upscale. In New York, there's Park Avenue, right? Park Avenue. You go down Park Avenue, you go down past the 80s and all that other stuff on Park Avenue. You got it's upscale down there, you know? People got condos, they paying $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month. My family was living like that in St. Thomas. We wasn't slaves. This is actual true facts. I got documents on this. I trace my lineage back. You can trace it to 200 BC, my friend. You are Jewish by religion, not Hebrew by blood. Jewish is a religion. Hebrew is the ethnic race of Jews. That's what the world has lost. Okay, Brody. Okay, yes. Yes. But I'm just saying. This is an actual true fact. But you're not getting what I'm saying. We can get into this because I agree with you. We can get into this. You take care of your health, Orson. I wish you no ill. Just read what I wrote to comment ago. Peace. Okay, brother. I'm definitely going to take care of my health. That's right. Thank you so much. Did you subscribe to me? Subscribe to me. All right. Well, we got to break down why the Jewish and all these things came about. Because back then there was no Jews, brother. See, you talking about after Noah. We could trace this lineage back to Noah. But nobody talks about the period of Adam, how rich this bloodline was, how rich and in tune they were between Adam until Noah time. There was rich spiritual existence here that built pyramids, that was in tune with the Creator, that came from an ancient ancestor. Adam is an ancient ancestor. Yes, this is facts. Right? We can break down where the Jewish came from. We could break down Hebrew. We could break down Muslim. We could break down Christianity. We could break down all of these religions where it came about. Because now the Creator had to do things different. That's why he sent the scriptures down. That's why he sent different laws down. Because the people, right? The people want to do whatever they wanted to do, basically. There was no rules and regulation. When this bloodline was trying to say, listen, don't worship the stones, don't worship trees, don't do this, don't do that. We was met with demise. We was met with killing. So the bloodlines of Adam was dying off, even though we was all the bloodline, and we came down here after they started populating the earth. Do you understand? Populating the earth. And back then, Eve was giving birth not to just two, but she was giving birth to quadruple babies. Back then, women was having 10 babies, 20 babies, 50 babies. After the earth started populating, right? After the earth started generating, the numbers start going down. The Creator start decreasing the number of the women's giving birth. Yes, he did. Some of the truth is that you see twins. Some of the truth is that you see women having triplets. Some of the truth, quadruple. They're having 4 babies, 5 babies come out of them. That's some of the truth that what he did. This wasn't no medical, they shoot you up and do it. No. Women was having child back then. And it was ease. It was ease because we had to populate the earth. I'm talking about back then, brother. That's not written in no books. The things that we're talking about is after the flood, after the ark, after Noah's flood. That's when everything changed up. That's when this religion started. Jewish and Christian and Muslim and all this other stuff started. Because he had to put structure. It wasn't structured. It wasn't structured then. It was structure, but it wasn't structured the way it is now. Like holy scriptures and, you got to marry this person. That it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that back then. What I'm talking about. but we still believe in one creator. So, I would like to end this topic. I'm going to bring up another topic because the topic, we went off topic and I couldn't really talk about the topic of, I figured it out, So this is part one. Part two, I apologize for that. Keep your eyes open and your head on the swivel. It's murder, death, kill going on in here. Not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, murder, death, kill. Live the life, be the life. Ain't no thing. I'm married to the game and the game is married to me. Cloak yourself with your lower desires of faith, fortune, and riches. It's not telling you that it's going to backdoor you at the end of the day and put you in these plantations and concentration camps and you having 10, 15 years over your head. You walking around the yard eating Jack Mac. You got this DIN number above your chest. You doing 15 years. You doing life upon life. You and your crew. It's not going to tell you that it's going to backdoor you, this entity. But that's his objective. There's 3 ways out, right? And death, that's it. That's the only way out of this life. It's the only way out. That's the reward that it has for you. Right? But the other one is, it has light there. It's dim. It's blurry. If you see it, snatch it. And the light is out here in society. This is where the light is at. You shouldn't get the light while you enter these plantations and change your life around. Change your life out here right now. Right? I'm giving knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, experience from a spiritual eye. Yes, been there, done that. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Please like, share, subscribe to the dopest channel out right now on YouTube. This is all big facts. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Hit it. So you can know I'm dropping bangers and heat for you and I. This is all true facts. And I really apologize that I went off topic, but I guess some people read inside some of my videos and I guess they wanted to see. But thank you so much. Y'all have a great day on this beautiful Friday. But if you want to talk more about these things that happened before Noah, we can't talk. We can all bring facts about Noah. Peace and blessings be upon them. These prophets and messengers. We can all bring proof about that. There's no beef about that. What I'm saying is we started off to believe in one creator. One, the Alpha Omega. The Alpha Omega. He begets not, nor is he begotten. There's nothing on to him. There's only one. Almighty, that's it. He doesn't have no father. He doesn't have no mother. He doesn't have children. He doesn't have wives. He don't have sex. He's a being of existence, of life. His life is different from our life. He exists outside of life. Do you understand? He cannot exist inside of life. He exists outside of life. Because if he exists inside of life, that means that he is what? He is prone, right, to everything that happened upon life. He got to exist outside of all of that. He got to exist outside of that. And life is time and time is life. It's all a part of that. That's deep how he did it. I love him. It's deep. Yo, he's deep, man. How he did it, I don't think ain't nobody matching that. Like I said, I apologize. Yeah. You already know I'm dropping that knowledge, wisdom, experience from a spiritual leader.